topic under leadership, how to build a successful team of people. Finding the right people is always a unique challenge, but that's where success comes from, the team effort. If you're going to put any kind of enterprise together that has a specific objective, being a national championship team or a business, an enterprise, a church, an organization, you've just got to find the right people. And this is how to build a successful team of people to accomplish a specific purpose. Now, if you don't have a specific purpose, then you can probably just use most anybody. But if you've got a purpose, you know, whether it's a sales purpose or an office purpose or a real estate purpose or a church purpose or a organization purpose or a championship team, right? If you're going to build an organization of people for a specific accomplishment, then you've got to have the right people. And let me just give you a little checklist we use around the world, trying to find the right people. First, there's a checklist of 3 things. First, you check interest. And checking a person's interest, there's probably several ways you can do it. One is, I guess, by resume. What someone has done in the past may indicate their interest for the future. But the best way really to check interest is face-to-face. You know, you just got to look at somebody and have them look back and get into conversation and talk about the enterprise and talk about, you know, the job description, you know, what it's all about, to find a person's true interest. Now, in the role of leadership, you do have to be cautioned that some people are going to try to fake you out. So you've got to get ready for that. But if you do it often enough, person to person, face to face, you can get good at really checking a person's true interest. I guess Jesus, master teacher, was the best at it. The story says one day a group came to him and said, Master, we wish to be your disciples. Jesus said, gentlemen, you have put your story on the wrong person. Because unfortunately, I can read your heart. They said, oh. See, they weren't wanting to be disciples. They had all kinds of trickery in mind, but that was the upfront show of interest. We wish to be your disciples. But see, he read them just right off the bat. Now, you might not get that good at it, right, to where you can read hearts. But I'll tell you what, though, if you will practice, if you'll be sensitive, if you'll look, if you won't miss anything, you can get very good at reading true interest, to really check that against what you hear in the conversation that's going on. Now, of course, here's where the woman comes in with her extra special gifts, right? See, if a man's having problems recruiting someone or talking to another man and he's not quite sure, then he just lets a woman sit in on the conversation and says, you just sit and listen while I talk to this gentleman, and then you'd give me your feelings. And sure enough, you know, she'll tell you. You know, when it's over, you just consult with her. Say, how'd you feel? She'll say, hey, I felt great. Or she will say, I don't think so, right? Because the women have this uncanny sense of danger or something doesn't ring a bell. But, you know, men can get good at it. But anybody who practices this art of really trying to judge true interest can get better and better at it. Now, no matter how good you get, you're still going to make some errors in judgment. Jesus said, I'll take you. And that was Judas. I mean, so you are going to make, you know, some errors. Anyway. So that helps me, right, to know when I make some errors. Now, so first of all, you check interest. Here's the second thing you check is response. A person might be interested in the pay, or they might be interested in, the opportunity or the future, but you also have to check response. How they respond to the job description. Are they excited and eager about whatever it takes to do it, to get the job done? If somebody says, you have to get there how early? You have to stay how late? Go home in the middle of the traffic? The breaks only, what was that again? 10 minutes? You just have to say, next, right? You just don't have the right person because the response is wrong. Then third thing you check to build a successful team of people is results. And I don't know any substitute for that. Finally, you must judge by results. Results must soon match quality. You might have a nice person, a good person, but unless you start getting early results, then you just don't have the right person. And it isn't that the wrong person may be a bad person, it's just that they are not the right person for the job, for the skill, for whatever needs to be accomplished. You know, the great coach John Wooden, I'm sure, said to the supposedly skilled young basketball player, he says, "Sir, can you hit it from the corner? I got to have me a corner man who can hit it from the corner." And, well, how are we going to know if you can hit it from the corner? Right? John says, well, I'll just stand here and you just fire away and I'll count. That's how you finally tell. Just launch a few. And I'll just keep score here, because I got to have somebody who can in the corner. Now, finally, you got to judge by results. And the early part of activity doesn't need to be the final results. The results can be, did you make the calls? This job calls for at least 10 calls a day. So the next morning, we get the little sheet out, and I say, John, how many calls on that 10 did you make yesterday? John says, well, say, the well won't even fit in the box. And sure enough, I've got this indication John's going to come up with a story, and the story for sure won't fit in the box. I say, John, the box is too small for the story. All I need is a number. 1, 3, 5, 8, 7. Just give me the number and I'll put it in the box. See, finally, you must judge by results. Because that's the name of the game, right? Results. Now, we all need to give people time for results, but finally, you must judge by results. We don't judge by stories. We just let the numbers speak for themselves. We let the activity that we've set up. Now, make sure when you recruit somebody, put somebody on, and you're developing an organization, whatever you're doing, make sure everybody understands up front.